Welcome back to B3. I'm here with my co-host, Miss Shara Brodsky from Sift Sort. Welcome to the podcast, dear.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm so delighted to be here.
Well, we're glad you're here today.
Thank you.
So we're going to dig deep.
Okay.
So are you ready?
I'm ready.
Buckle up, baby, because we're going.
I'm ready for anything.
All right. So, I've only been in Palm Coast for 2-3 years.
Fresh meat.
Fresh meat.
On the platter.
On the platter. I want to know. I want to know. And I know you're not from here.
Correct.
So let's go back to the beginning.
Of birth or Florida?
Whatever you choose to share with the listening audience.
Oh, boy. Okay, well, we'll just start with Florida. And I know I've touched on this.
Well, I want to go.
Oh, you want to go back?
Yeah, we are kindred
souls.
Accents, almost.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So we'll start with my name because that always seems to be a problem of how to say it. And I'm learning that I just found out that there is a south and a north way to say my name. So my name is unusual. I don't know if it's unusual, just rare, I should say.
Okay.
Or rare. So recently, actually 2 weeks ago, I've been with my husband for 24 years, and he gets a customer at his job that is named Shara. And he goes, "Oh, my wife's name is Shara." And she goes, "No, my name is Shara." And then she said to him, "Well, I guess you must be from the north because I'm from the south."
Oh.
So that clarified the pronunciations of letters. I mean, again, if you're from Massachusetts, you speak a certain way and we leave certain letters out. So Shara, Shara, and Shara are 3 different ways to say my name.
Eek. What do you prefer, dear?
Well, this is the problem. I can't prefer anything because I can't teach you how to pronounce your letters, how you are used to speaking.
It's boardwalk and coffee.
Is it boardwalk and coffee? So
that's a Jersey thing.
It is. So this is the problem. And over the years, I have learned to just accept. I actually just spell it for people and let them say it. It's not a difficult name.
Not at all.
You say it how it's spelled.
Right.
But some people like to throw other letters. Like I'll say Shara and then I'll say, "Oh, Sharna." And I'm like, there's no N.
No N in Shara.
No. I don't know if it's the conception of listening or if the brain just works too quickly for some people. But I've accepted. I mean, but my parents named me, and we're in New York, you just come from, you speak a certain way. From the boroughs, I'll say, not from the entire state of New York, because that's a whole nother topic.
Yes, it is.
So whether you're from the Bronx or Brooklyn, you have this very heavy R removing.
Right.
And it's an So it's Shara. But when I try to tell people how to say it, they break it up into Shara. And I'm like, it's not R-U-H at the end. It's just Shara. But I just learned, and people still go and Shara, Shara. It's all good. So I know that's probably a whole episode.
That's a
whole nother episode.
Okay.
So, sorry we got so deep into my name, just to clarify.
One of the boroughs.
Yes, one of the boroughs.
Okay.
The Lost Borough is officially where people think Staten Island is, but that's okay.
Oh, it's Staten Island.
It is Staten Island. It's not Long Island. Most people, if they don't know, Long Island is not a borough. There are 5 boroughs, and Staten Island is one of them, but it's the only borough that is completely in the middle of the water.
Yes.
Not the water, but the water. And they just kind of disconnect it from being a borough, even though it is a borough.
Well, they're special nonetheless.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I did grow up there, had a wonderful upbringing, and winded up in Palm Coast, Florida in 95.
So 95.
95.
And what was going on in 95 for Miss Shara?
High school.
Okay.
With all of the kids that went to middle school together and then transferred to high school. It was very difficult. I was the new kid on the block, and especially with my accent, it was very difficult because I became center of attention in a negative way. Of just, "Oh, there's the girl from New York. Tell her to say coffee. Tell her to say rough." And I'm like, I don't even know what a rough is. Like, is that attached to a house? Is it for something that comes from a dog? And then say dog, So all these things, I got a lot of this negative which I thought was negative, and maybe wasn't. It was just entertainment for them because they've just been around the same people their whole lives, and talking differently, speaking in different ways was entertaining to them, but I didn't find it entertaining.
You know, there was a large marketing push to the tri-state area in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut for residents to move here. And my brother was part of that. So I imagine your family might have been part of that.
No.
No.
But again, most of them I think were retired from the tri-state area, not just kind of, you know, middle school, high school, just running to Palm Coast and starting fresh. So it was a serious challenge for me to
culture shock, I might imagine.
Adapt and overcome. I did cry myself to sleep for months trying to figure this out.
That's a tough age to take a child away from what they're used to.
Well, I also had a culture shock before because we moved from one end of the island to the other. So after 8th grade, we moved to the other end of the island. So I actually started a brand new high school with people I had no idea versus all the people I grew up with started, you know, the one high school. So I was already culture shocked twice-ish. So I was still able to visit my friends on the other side of the island. My mother would always take me every weekend. But, you know, here we go 1,000 miles away into a whole new world.
Was there a reason for the move?
Yes, my parents divorced. My mother had enough of the whole New York lifestyle, the pollution, and wanted just a cleaner, more beautiful lifestyle. And my grandparents lived in Fort Lauderdale. So she would come and visit, and the real estate agent told her about Palm Coast. But I don't know if I talked about this before, but my parents, even though they were separated, kind of knew about it because my father's a retired cop from Brooklyn. So he was getting the newsletters from the retired police people that did move here. And so they were aware of Palm Coast, but never even really thought or discussed possible buying property here, which we could have been millionaires, but that's again a whole nother topic.
Yes.
A whole nother topic.
The foundation of your work experience here in Palm Coast. Tell us about that.
Okay, well, basically back then there wasn't, and unfortunately still, I think to this day, very little opportunities when it comes to career choices. So the restaurant business was my world. I first started at McDonald's. The one that
I did too.
Okay, I think that's everybody's first job, right?
Slinging French fries.
Yes, exactly. So I worked there for quite a while, and then I worked at Boston Market, which we had here, which
I remember that
now Tie by Tie, I think, in that location.
Oh, okay.
So they closed and then just went from restaurant to restaurant to restaurant. And I actually did work for Palm Coast Data. If anybody even knows what that is, it's probably a whole nother topic. Long-standing
clue
company.
What that is, but we'll find out.
We will. We can save that for another time. So I worked for Terranovas. That was actually, they started off in Flagler Beach.
I know where that is, yeah.
Well, now you know, but they started off where Sunbros is in Flagler Beach, and a long-standing family-owned restaurant. I worked there for about 13 years until they sold it and then moved to Manel. And I still have a very good relationship with them. I actually helped train their entire staff when they first opened at Benel. But I had such a clientele already that was in Flagler Beach, so I wound up staying with the new business. It was called Giuseppe's, which actually they own Old Dixie Pizzeria. Giuseppe's over by Plantation Bay-ish area. So while I was there, I'm like, this can't be what my life is going to restaurant to restaurant to restaurant and standing on my feet, because I knew that there was more for me.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
The restaurant business is a lot.
It's a lot. And for being there for so long, I was able to kind of run every little section of it, which, you know, sometimes when that happens, you wind up doing everything and people do nothing because they know that you can handle it. But at one point, I was actually running the entire dining room alone. It wasn't a very busy restaurant, but I was able to seat them, bus them, serve them, make salads. It was a deep challenge. But through that process, I thought I need to do something, because where am I going to go? I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. I know that there's more. I just didn't know what it was.
What season of life were you at that point? Is this I was out of high school?
Oh, yes. I was, I started there when I was 21. So probably when I was about 25, 26, I thought, okay.
Something's got to change.
Yeah, I don't want to do this, you know, coming home stinking and dealing with people and food was just not, I just all I knew my whole life. And I really know what I was capable of. So I decided to go to Daytona State College, which I did go, by the way, right after high school, because that was like what you're supposed to do.
Right.
And I did go, and I hated every second of it because I'm not really the best student. I'm not a school fan, but I thought, I'm done with this. Let me go make some money and hang out and kind of live my life. And then that's when I realized I need to go back to school because I have to learn a trade or get some kind of further education to further myself.
Did you discover new interests at that point? How did you
Not at
select?
all.
Not at all.
Not at
Okay.
all. So I went to Daytona State and talked to a counselor and kind of was going down the curriculum of some of these programs. And I chose interior design based on the credentials, which did not include any sciences or any difficult mathematical classes.
Yeah.
And so I did get some prereqs when I did go after high school. So I did have some credits, but that was one of the reasons I chose interior design. And then not knowing how deep interior design got when I was starting to take architectural classes.
Oh, no, the history of architect.
Very interesting. But I did start to really fall in love with the whole idea of architect and history and how...
That was one of the classes I slept in.
I actually loved it because fascination of how, what they were able to build with nothing.
That part is fascinating.
It is. I mean, we can go back to the pyramid days, but we didn't go back that far.
No.
But through the program, I realized how amazing it was and the capabilities that I had to actually do such things, and learning that interior design is not about decorating. That it is involved, but it's definitely more of
the technical side to it as well.
Oh, absolutely. And I fell in love with architectural drawing.
Isn't that interesting? We're both kind of...
Yes, drafters.
Yeah.
And then AutoCAD came.
Yeah.
And that kind of did
squashed it.
Yeah, it was. Because so I had to take architectural classes in the interior design program, and 3/4 of the way through the interior design program, I was going to continue, get the associates in interior design, and then go as well and get an associates in architecture because I already had 3/4 of the credits done. So AutoCAD 1 wasn't too bad. I was able to pass with some help, but then AutoCAD 2 came, and that did it for me. That just totally shot my architectural dreams down. But I thought I would love to work with an architect, with the design eye and kind of, really getting those fine-tuned details of like, where you're going to put your lamp because now you need a light switch and an outlet, versus, again, just throwing up a pillow and a curtain and calling it a day. So I did.
Pillow and a curtain.
That's what you do. You throw a curtain like, oh, it looks good. But there's so much more to it. You see sometimes the doors open the wrong way, and why would they do that? Or there's a light switch that you have to go into the room first and turn the light on before you go in. So things like that was really what fascinated me.
Yeah, you say trace the fruits to the roots. I'm beginning to see how Sift Sort was birthed.
Okay.
So tell me, what is the evolution to where you are today?
Well, helping people is definitely a passion of mine. It has been.
Oh, we have a whole plethora of things that you're doing.
We have a plethora. We definitely don't have enough time, but we should definitely dive into that as well. But helping people is my passion. And I don't know if it's because I'm capable or if it's more rewarding for me to see someone else succeed by me allowing myself to help them. And maybe it's a curse and a gift at the same time. Sometimes.
What do you mean?
So I definitely give people more of me than I give myself. And again, I don't know if it's because I don't want to give myself the attention or working on ourselves is hard versus helping someone else is easy. It's a whole mental issue that I've been dealing with my whole life, is maybe just putting the responsibility on someone else rather than myself. So that's my own little personal issues that I've been dealing with. But helping people is definitely a passion of mine. And seeing now that I can help people transform emotionally, not just physically, by helping them downsize and organize is very rewarding, obviously, not just for the client, but for myself as well.
Right.
And I've learned through this little process that it is definitely more just about the physical aspect of this, because half the time we're just sitting and talking. about the issue, because they said like, oh, well, I want to organize, and I'm like, well, I don't want to just organize. I want to help you remove and reduce so that you don't have to continue to be overwhelmed and have some kind of organization system rather than just having less stuff.
It makes perfect sense. And I know we're missing a step here, the boutique.
Oh, yes.
So the boutique, when I first met you, you were still there.
Yes.
Tell us about that, and how did that evolve into your own business?
Oh boy, so that's probably a whole nother episode. Okay, so working at the restaurant, I was at that point where I was actually begging God to help me and find a way out of there, because I've just exhausted all my resources, and I was still going to school because through that, after achieving my associates in interior design, I continued and got my bachelor's in business management. Obviously, you got to know how to run a business if you choose to have a career and run something. So I did continue that. And while I was at the restaurant, I was continuing to get my bachelor's and winded up meeting the owner of the boutique, waiting on her and her husband. And over the course of time, she realized how functional I believe I am and capable of multiple things, especially at her high standards. And one day out of the blue, she says, you want to work part-time? And I'm like, sure. Why not? It's an opportunity. I still will be working at the restaurant. So I worked at the boutique part-time and the restaurant full-time for a little over 2.5 years.
So there's a lot of drive and desire I'm hearing here to be better than you were yesterday.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Every day we try even harder. So through the boutique, I was a big tomboy growing up. I loved playing basketball. I was a point guard, which most people don't know about me. One of my favorite things was being that point guard. I don't know if it was a control issue or just being able to have the ball and passing it to the right people. But through that, when I started working with her, she had no clothes or very little jewelry and accessories. It was more of home decor, silk florals.
Okay.
And she opened up in 2003. So she was a very successful business owner. And unfortunately, through the, what do you call it? Economic crash.
Right, 2008.
Yes, thank you. She almost closed and then decided not to and continued the business. So I met her in 2008 and started working in 2010 with her.
Okay. Yeah, entrepreneurship is not for sissies.
Definitely
There's
not
a lot
at
to
all.
talk about there.
So through the course, that time, she says, what am I supposed to do? About 2012 is when we got our first rack of clothing, women's clothing, made in the USA by an amazing vendor out in Leesburg, who actually we got so close with that I invited to my wedding.
Oh, interesting.
Very interesting. So we got the clothes. And I'm like, well, I guess I should try them on to see how they fit, because I want to be able to help people, guide them, oh, that runs too small, it runs too big, whatever it may be. So through that process of trying clothes on, I found a whole new Shara. Accessorizing, dressing, and I've never been thin my whole life. So, of course, finding something that's flattering and that you feel amazing in. And it opened up a whole new world for me by doing fashion shows. And realizing how clothing and accessories can help you from the inside out.
Right.
And women don't realize that. So that was a wonderful experience for me to be able to
So there you are
through.
again, helping people feeling better about themselves.
Correct.
Specifically women.
Exactly. Especially retired aging women.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Yes, which was, I'd say 90% of the clientele was 65 and up. Go through women's changes, your body changes, hair changes, skin, whatever it is, and just feeling beautiful and sexy is a challenge. So being able to help women do that, especially a younger woman, trying to encourage them that they're still youthful, maybe just not in age, but within, was my amazing challenge that I had.
It is an amazing challenge because a lot of times, well, women always have image issues, right?
We're our own worst critic.
We're our own worst critic, but society kind of pushes that on us. So
a little too much.
I'm glad we're able to help those people, and I'm sure that talent has not gone anywhere.
Oh, no. That's one of my very favorite things to do, is to help people coordinate and put outfits together.
And I asked you for that on my cruise.
You sure did. How recent.
We blinged it out yesterday.
We sure did. And I love being able to encourage people to try new things, because I know what it was like to not try color or, different necklines or whatever it may be. So I always used to tell people the clothing is not acid. It will not burn your skin. Just try it on. If it looks like crap, we'll put it back on the hanger, but you don't know until it's on. I learned that the hard way through my own self. So I'm able to help people realize that it's okay to try something new.
At what point in the boutique did you pivot or had the thought process to say, you know what, I want to do my own thing?
Right after COVID, I saw a change in shopping.
Okay.
Again, the clientele
There's been a lot of changes post-COVID.
Correct.
So,
and one of them is definitely shopping. And I think it's because Amazon came full force. They've been around before COVID, but we all learned how to shop online and feel comfortable using our credit cards through COVID. And now we have Shein and Temu and all these companies that are direct contact.
Well, you'd go into a store and there wouldn't be any selections for your size.
Exactly. So
that's a problem.
It is a problem. And, people do like to feel and look at things, but society, as we just spoke about, they're training us. They went from flip phones to smartphones, and you kind of really didn't have a choice at one point but to get rid of the flip phone and get yourself a smartphone. And I don't care how old you are. You say, I can't learn this thing. Well, everybody basically has a smartphone. I'd say 95% of people have a smartphone, and they've learned how to use it somehow, some way. So it is a transition. Even people, how they entertained back in the day.
Right.
I know I have a crystal toothpick holder that my grandmother used to use and had a glass for every different type of drink.
Right.
And now, you use a red Solo cup for anything.
When we moved from Georgia to Florida, I couldn't give half the stuff away to my kids. They didn't want it.
Kind of where this whole downsizing and organizing has really evolved. And through the shop and seeing that, the minimum requirements for some of these wholesalers were dozens of pieces.
Yeah.
And we would have to keep them on stock and keep them accessible and have inventory. So that's kind of where the organization came in to know, I want 3 of those. I know exactly where to go get them in the back room or to replenish what we sold. Right. So there had to be some kind of system going on there. And then through COVID, knowing and seeing how people did think about what they were buying and spending money on because it was unnecessary, plus the overload and the time we had during COVID to realize how much stuff we actually did have. And people were going through their houses and kind of like, well, what else am I going to do? I'm sitting here. I might as well go through my stuff and realizing what you didn't need or too much of what you had. And then through the years, I've noticed people just questioning, do I need this? What am I going to do with this? I have nowhere to go.
Right.
I don't, dress up anymore. Like all these excuses. And then through that, but I had to still convince them sometimes it's better to have and not need than need and not have.
There's an emotional thing that is going on there.
Absolutely.
Especially, for my generation, it was grandmother passed it to my mom passed it to me, and it was like, I'm going to be the one to throw this out?
Yes, you are.
No.
Yes. And then, again, the storage facility building that we have here, I mean, they look like shopping malls. They're all over the place. And again, we don't have a lot of storage. A lot of people coming from all parts of the nation that had basements and extra storage. It's becoming overwhelming and it's unnecessary, especially now that the generations don't want any of it. They have no emotional connection to, I don't care who had it. It could be worth $100,000 and they just don't want it. They don't want to deal with selling it, keeping it.
That in and of itself needs therapy.
Correct.
What do you mean you don't want it?
Yeah, like
I saved this all my life for you.
Exactly. So it's a challenge, and that's what I'm working towards, is helping people emotionally relieve and release these items.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So this is a new business for you, but I know that you have probably more volunteer things that you do than anyone I've met.
That says a lot, so thank you.
So
yeah,
let's fly over that real quick because we're almost out of time.
I know.
We're going to go deeper into that soon.
Okay. So just
tell us, how many entities are you working with?
I'm probably working with about 8 different entities, but I am on the board of 5.
Oh, is that all?
Yeah, I know. So
is this something that needs therapy?
Absolutely. Oh my God! I'd say, okay, I'm reevaluating everything. I have been learning a lot about where I want to place my time and energy. So I think through this journey, I mean, I started this business in January of this year, barely even touched on it, left the shop in July. So this has been a very interesting year for me.
Yeah, you're
growth.
Transforming yourself.
I am.
Into an entrepreneur.
Absolutely.
And maybe / volunteer.
Oh, it's volunteer /
Oh, it's the opposite.
But again, I do still need an income. So I do have to figure out, where to place my time. But through this journey, I have actually been able to figure out how and where I want to place my time. But the Lions Club is my #1 passion at this time. It is the largest nonprofit volunteer organization in the entire world.
And you are on the board of that?
I am the president.
Oh, okay. So you're the big cheese.
I am
the chief lioness.
The chief lioness of the Palm Coast Lions Club.
So what do they do exactly?
They do a lot. They did start off with saving sight, basically. So Helen Keller, and I believe
it goes that far back.
It does actually even goes further back, because I believe the organization started in 1917 with Melvin Jones, and Helen Keller gave the Knights of the Lions an initiative, and I want to say it was in the 20s, to help save the blind. And from there, they work with eye banks if you need a new eye, if you need retina surgery or cataract surgery and you can't afford it. We work with some local audiologists as well, because we work on hearing, and also some ophthalmologists to be able to help pay for these procedures through the Lions Club and their grants.
Wow. That's a lot.
It's a lot, and that's just a little...
We're just tip of the iceberg.
Yeah. I don't even know if we have anybody else on. It's all about us.
Yes, it's enough about me. What do you think about me?
I'm also a board member of the Garden Club, which is also a 50-year-old standing nonprofit here on Palm Coast. I'm also on a nonprofit called Furnishing Hope, Coping with Colors, and then on the Lions International Saving Site Board.
Wow.
Yes.
All right, listening audience, this is a lot to digest.
Sorry.
When we do our episode on nonprofits, and we will do that, we're going to go deeper into those sort of things.
Fantastic.
But in the meantime, thank you for sharing all that stuff with us.
Yes.
And I learned a lot today.
I love that.
So
thank you, Diane.
Listening audience, thank you for joining us today. Come back, and next time, we don't know who we're going to have next.
I know, it's a surprise.
We're lining them up.
Yes, we are.
So we appreciate you all, and see you next time.
Thank you.